The following video is intended for mature audiences. It contains horror elements, adult themes, and language that might not be suitable for younger viewers. Welcome back to another disturbing journey in the southern underworld. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like, comment, subscribe, and share this devilish delight with your horror friends and fam. Engagement is essential, and it helps our little channel grow. The horror genre is known for its ability to scare and disturb. But in 1982, George A. Romero and Stephen King went beyond simple fright with Creepshow, a tribute to the colorful yet disturbing horror comics of the 1950s. Directed by Romero, known for Night of the Living Dead, and written by King, an icon of contemporary horror, Creepshow is more than a collection of scary stories. It's an artful blend of revulsion and fascination. As a child, this film marked my first exposure to horror and sparked a lifelong interest in all things terrifying. The film stands out not only because it's an anthology, but also because it combines Romero's talent for creating tense atmospheres with King's knack for writing bizarre narratives. This movie still holds appeal for fans like myself who encountered it early on. Even years later, rewatching it brought back that same thrill I felt as a child, the joy of being scared in just the right way. Creepshow consists of 5 short stories linked by the Creep, a sinister figure who serves as the backbone of this anthology. Each story is essentially a morality tale where characters face poetic justice or retribution. The narratives are tinged with irony, as each character deals with the consequences of their actions, often gruesomely so. Each story takes viewers into strange and grotesque worlds, from ghostly graveyards to alien moss infestations and monsters hiding in dark basements. Despite their differences in tone and setting, the film maintains consistency, thanks to comic book-style transitions and an overarching sense of dread. Unlike many anthologies where some stories outshine others, Creepshow maintains consistent quality throughout. The film strikes a balance between horror and dark humor, creating an unsettling yet entertaining experience reminiscent of reading old horror comics. Retribution is a central theme in Creepshow. King's characters meet grim fates as a result of their arrogance, greed, or cruelty. There's an underlying idea that punishment is inevitable, that we can't escape the consequences of our actions. The stories in Creepshow explore this concept with Stephen King's signature dark creativity. The first tale, Father's Day, is perhaps the most memorable example of this theme. It's about a murdered father who returns from the grave for revenge. On its own, it's a simple story, but Romero's knack for building suspense and revealing the twisted dynamics of a dysfunctional family makes it far more unsettling. The other tales, from the cosmic horror of The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill to the paranoia-inducing Something to Tide You Over, explore different aspects of fear, but always underpin it with a sense of karmic justice. In They're Creeping Up on You, for instance, one man's isolation and fear of germs lead to one of cinema's most disturbing scenes. King and Romero tap into basic fears of loneliness, surveillance, and retribution, with an unflinching gaze that forces viewers to face these anxieties head-on. The partnership between George A. Romero and Stephen King has yielded some of the most impactful films in horror history, with Creepshow being a standout. Romero, known for revolutionizing the zombie genre with Night of the Living Dead, infuses Creepshow with his signature elements, precise pacing, atmospheric narrative style, and an ever-present undertone of fear. His directorial approach gives the film a unique visual identity, reminiscent of horror comics through dynamic lighting effects, bold colors, and inventive scene transitions that plunge viewers into a surreal comic book nightmare. Romero's direction in Creepshow is more theatrical than his other works, utilizing exaggerated performances to underscore the heightened reality of the stories and create a film that is as visually engaging as it is spine-tingling. Stephen King's influence permeates each twisted storyline and unexpected plot twist. King excels at integrating supernatural elements into ordinary situations, a hallmark storytelling technique evident in Creepshow. Here, fear often stems from the characters themselves, rather than the external paranormal forces they encounter. King's narratives are fantastical, yet rooted in real fears that viewers can identify with. The distinctiveness of Creepshow lies in how King and Romero amplify one another's strengths. Romero's talent for building suspense and atmosphere enriches King's terrifying tales. Together, they don't just assemble horror stories, but construct a cohesive vision of karmic terror that leaves a lasting impression on viewers. The film proudly displays its influences, from its vivid color scheme to stylized comic book transitions framing each story. For those who grew up reading Tales from the Crypt and the Vault of Horror, Creepshow is a sincere tribute to this genre known for its gory morality tales with often ironic endings. But Creepshow's appeal goes beyond nostalgia. Even for modern viewers unfamiliar with pulp horror comics, the film's narratives strike a chord as they tap into universal fears: death, isolation, guilt, and the unknown. It also reminded me of my first encounter with horror, that initial terrifying journey into a world where reality's rules were suspended and anything was possible. Creepshow's enduring appeal lies in its ability to encapsulate the essence of old horror comic books while maintaining an original and innovative approach. It stands as both a tribute to the past and a unique work of art that continues to inspire new generations of horror fans. One notable feature of Creepshow is its use of practical effects. Before CGI took over horror films, practical effects were essential tools for filmmakers like Romero. Creepshow serves as an example of how these techniques can create realistic and frightening monsters, from the moss-covered Jordi Verrill to the climax filled with cockroaches. The effects team put in an extraordinary amount of work to create unforgettable creature designs and gory visuals. There's a physical quality to Creepshow's horrors that modern CGI often misses, whether it's Nathan Grantham's decaying corpse rising from his grave or Jordi Verrill's grotesque transformation. The practical effects lend a tangible quality to the film. Creepshow has made a lasting impact on the genre. While Final Destination introduced fate-driven horror to a new generation, it was Creepshow that laid the groundwork for anthology horror films and TV shows like Tales from the Dark Side. Its structure, blend of humor and terror, and willingness to embrace both supernatural elements and grotesque imagery have become genre standards. As a child, Creepshow scared me. As an adult, it still does, but now I can appreciate the skill and craftsmanship that went into its making. It operates on multiple levels, both as a pure horror film and as a nostalgic nod to an earlier era of horror storytelling. Revisiting it after all these years reminds me of why I fell in love with the horror genre, a love affair that began with Creepshow and continues today. Creepshow is a must-watch for any horror fan. For those who grew up with it, it's a chilling reminder of horror's ability to both scare and thrill, leaving an unforgettable mark on our imaginations. Creepshow is a dark comedy fantasy horror that is 2 hours long and is rated R. The Southern Underworld gives it 5 bloody knives. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thank you for watching.